that maybe some of this was political clearly. This isn't just a one-party problem, and they were thinking, hey, this is going to be a big story. If it's denied, it'll have legs. There may have been big asset managers involved, and they may have been afraid that we wouldn't be seen as being against crypto. There has been a huge shift in Washington when it comes to crypto. I think that's because old Wall Street wants to get in on the money that crypto is making, and it's not a surprise that Shoe River is in New York, and the financial services industry gave him the most money for his campaign. I just think that the strange, uneasy alliance that formed between crypto and traditional Wall Street is going to help the industry grow, and if we keep seeing wins like these, it will reach all-time highs. People who deal in cryptocurrencies were completely caught off guard when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission asked exchanges to quickly update their 19B forms. According to CoinDesk, which broke the news on Monday, the agency asked for these updates before the May 23rd deadline. This is a big change from months ago, when the applications were ignored. However, issuers also need their own applications approved before launching, which could take an endless amount of time. Senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Bouchon sees this as a sign that the SEC may be ready to approve the spot Ethereum ETF application. In a tweet posted on Monday, Bouchon said that he and his Bloomer coworker James Safer were raising the chances of the apps being approved from 25% to 75%. Eric had a conversation with Unchained's Laura Shin on Tuesday. Matt Haugen, a crypto enthusiast and the CIO of Bitwise, which has an application for a spot Ethereum ETF before the SEC, also joined them. During their conversation, the three of them guessed that the SEC's sudden changes were caused by politics. It's no secret that the cryptocurrency industry has become a major problem in U.S. politics. Earlier this month, I spoke to a group of people who support crypto. Former President Donald Trump told people who support crypto to vote for him in November and made fun of Vice President Joe Biden for not knowing much about the field. A few days later, Trump also said that his campaign would accept cryptocurrency payments. Christian Carlo, who used to be the head of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC), called Trump America's first crypto president, he also said that Trump has been very important to the cryptocurrency business during the discussion. In addition to Trump's support, Haugen said that big Wall Street players are becoming more interested in the cryptocurrency business and are putting a lot of pressure on regulators to make it legal. First, I don't understand why it makes sense everyone you talk to said the SEC hadn't said anything. Also, I think silence is bad because during all the Bitcoin cycles, they were silent, then stalled, then denied, so silence means we're not doing this. Communication is linked to us doing this, which is where our pessimism came from. But I have to think that maybe some of this was political. This issue is clearly moving away from one party, and they may have thought, hey, this is going to be a big story. If it's denied, it'll have legs. There may have been big asset managers involved, and they may have been afraid that we wouldn't be seen as being against crypto. That's my thesis. The only thing else I heard was denial. Everyone I talked to was shocked, and these are people who have been working on this for a while. I need to eat a lot of crow because I said that was a pretty bold statement. Credit to James Safer for keeping this at 25% chances. I would have gone as low as 10 or 5, but he told me to keep it at 25, so at least we were only 25. Thanks, James. But I think I can rest assured that many articles published in the last month said issuers were saying it doesn't look good. It wasn't just me, there were many voices and many sources saying it. I'm pleasantly shocked that they said it. This is a much more fun shock than the opposite, where we were bullish on Bitcoin on the spot and they didn't approve. This is what I thought would happen because I think ETFs are great and can track almost anything, so I thought this would happen. I was just trying to be right, and all the signs pointed to that. To be honest, it sounds like it was a last-minute choice. As SAV121 said, I think there has been a total sea change in Washington when it comes to crypto. I think this is because traditional Wall Street wants to get in on the money that crypto is making, if you remember right after the Bitcoin ETF launch. A bunch of Wall Street political groups like the ABA and others sent out a letter asking to be able to get into the custody space. I think they saw how much money can be made in custody and stable coins, and now Wall Street is pushing for crypto laws and rules that would let them compete in the market, and I think that's what changed. Wall Street was against crypto before BlackRock came along, ETFs worked well, and now Tether is making more money than Goldman Sachs, and Wall Street wants to get in on that. It's also no accident that Schumer lives in New York, and that the financial services business gives the most money to his campaign. I just think that the strange, uneasy alliance that has formed between crypto and traditional Wall Street is going to help the industry grow. If we keep seeing wins like these, it will take the industry to all-time highs, and I think the same thing is happening with stablecoin law. As you can see, this isn't just SB 121, it's like the canary in the coal mine. There's a total shift in favor of some parts of crypto, like the new regulated parts, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, custody, and stablecoins. I believe those are becoming more common, and I believe it will completely change the business world. If this was done at the last minute, I would think that the 19 befores were okayed because they need to make a choice by the 23rd on those. The S1s can take more time, but they can't go out until that's done, so we might have weeks. But I don't know, because I don't think you can clean up the S1 to their liking if they haven't said anything, so there has to be time for that. Usually this would have happened by now, however, there has been no contact. It's all very strange, but I think this is related to a podcast Matt and I were on together. It was with a guy from a balcony, and he said that they might prove 19 before that and take a month for the S1. It didn't work out that way, but his explanation of how that could happen could be what we see here. I think it's just their odds in general. I'm not sure what Matt has to say about this, but I don't see them getting more than 10% of the assets that are in spot Bitcoin. It's possible that they will, however, launch and start dealing. I think 10% of 50 billion is a pretty good number. Yes, that's 5 billion. I mean, all these numbers are crazy. We're used to seeing such big numbers, but even 5 billion would be a big thing. But I only see them as 10% to 15%, so having choices is good in this area. I don't know if it will be as exciting though, since their flows won't be as big. I think one is enough for the average person. It's true that this one is like gold, so I think that's enough for most people. For that other one, you would have to really have a strong case to buy it, and I think that would be unique to that. I think most people are happy with the one they have now. I have said before that I believe spot Ethereum ETFs would attract more assets, and in fact the ecosystem of crypto ETFs would attract more assets if a theory of ETFs were approved, and let's say in December or January. This is because I believe Bitcoin ETFs still need some time to cook. They haven't been approved on all national account platforms yet, and they haven't gone through the due diligence process. Adding a problem makes things more difficult, so I believe that the idea of ETFs, if and when they're approved, will slow down the process of collecting assets. The real focus will be on the growth of the Ethereum ecosystem rather than the growth of the ETFs. One more thing I want to say before I end. I'm not sure if Eric gets this, but Bitcoin's main use in the world is as an investment, not as an independent store of value. Because of this, an ETF is a big change in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Ethereum's main use is as gas to run Ethereum-based apps. Because Ethereum isn't as easy to buy in as Bitcoin, I agree with Eric. Still, I think the idea of an ETF would be great. I also think Ethereum is a great investment because its traits are not correlated with cash flow. I am very happy about the Denken upgrade and what it means for user growth and acceptance. However, it is not as clear-cut as the Bitcoin ETF. When it comes to how it affects real-world use cases, it is more separate.